All right, Shalom. First, I start by saying our praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Crocodiles, double artists to the elders and the apostles that were well, and salutations to the brothers that are doing the truth and sincerity. This is 50 Christians gruesomely murdered in Nigeria, and this happened in July. And then the most recent case that just happened again, I think it was another case that happened before this time, but was, last week? And we're in February. So the Lord is over there judging them Nigerians, and them Nigerians are Israelites, man. Our people fled from Israel into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution, and then brought over here to America because of their idol worship. So the Lord is warning the whole world right now and want Israel to return unto him. And over there in Nigeria, they already knew that they were Israelites, man. But the true doctrine of the scriptures is what's being pushed out through the apostles on down, man. So it would behoove for those who listen over there to get in order before it's too late. That's why so much death going on over there. The Christianity that the Nigerians believe in, or our people in general in Africa, because I had to look into a little bit more of the Christianity that they got going on over there. But a lot of their Christianity over there in Africa, dealing with our people, go back to witchcraft. It has voodoo mixed within the doctrine. So that's what they get, man. You can't feel sorry for them. So I'm going to press play on this video and then add some precepts.
Another 50 Christians have been gruesomely murdered in the ongoing genocide.
See, he said another 50. Oh, and also, he finna said, I'm jumping the gun right now, but the controversy that's going on over there between the Christians and Islam is a part of the doctrine of the elites to bring in a new world order. They wanted Christianity to lock horns, so to speak, with Islam. That was a doctrine that was a set. That's an agenda that's going on over there, man. The book that tells you that is Satan Angels Exposed. So with that being said, I'm going to press play on this video.
In Nigeria, Frank Uto, a Nigerian lawyer and native of Yelawata, joins us now. Frank, these 50 that have been killed recently, you were talking with me before we got started about the manner in which they were killed. It wasn't, a bomb or something. This was a gruesome event. Can you tell me how these 50 people died?
The way they kill our people is in the most horrific, the most gruesome, the most cruel manner anyone could ever think. It will make even the devil to shiver. Because what they do is that when they come around, you run into your hut, into your house. And then what they do is that they will now, cycle the house with fuel. They will lit fire on the house. And then when you are coming out, they will now hack you down with machete. So they're cutting you as if they are cutting a piece of wood. Not as even they are killing a wild animal. You don't even kill a wild animal that way. So they'll bust your brains with machete and you see spillage of brains. I believe you've seen some of these very horrific pictures. They are so graphic. I have hundreds of them in my phone right now. These are my siblings. These are my cousins. These are people I know so well. I know almost 80% of these people. As a matter of fact, some of them, I spoke to some of them a week before that thing happened. And anytime we speak, we talk with dread. We know that we are living on time bomb. We know that these things will come again. So every time I try to give them an advice, to keep their eyes open. But that was what happened. Look, there are two of my aunties who were pregnant. One was pregnant with a twin, with twins. They split open the stomach, they removed the twins, and then slaughtered the twin. So that's what's been happening. And when they are doing this, they begin to recite Allah Akbar, which unfortunately has become an internationally recognized slogan and motto for terrorists.
That's a grievous death, like the scriptures say. To kill a woman, take the kids out, kill the kids, take it out of the belly. So that's because Jacob don't want to return to the Lord, though.
may have good intention. The words in Arabic says Allah is great or something like that. But unfortunately, it has become the most universally accepted slogan and motto for jihadists. So they'll be slaughtering these people and be chanting Allah Akbar. That's what we've been facing. Unfortunately, the government of our country, the government of our state is doing extremely nothing about this because they will just want to be politically correct. Because the kinsmen of these people are the ones, the same people who constitute the top echelon of the Nigerian political structure, business structure, and institutional structure. So you find a lot of people who are so reluctant to do something about this because they want to be politically correct. They want to have at every time political benefits and personal aggrandizement. So that's what we've been facing. So like I said earlier, we lived with this. We've been living with it before now. Do you know that before the incident, I'm sorry, maybe I may be digressing, but before the incident of June 13 and 14, before that massacre, 2 weeks earlier, a retired army officer in my own village of Yerwata, who was my late father's very close friend, was in his compound just going through his phone that night, and because of the beam, the light of the phone, was shining on his face, these jihadists came to his compound, shot him on the leg, so he ran into his room. So we are very poor people. Our houses are made from muds. We don't have houses made of strong bricks. So even when you kick the wall, it will break. So many of our houses, we don't even have window frames. So like in his own window frame, what was there was just a mosquito net. So when he fell into his room, they now went through the mosquito net, cut the mosquito net, went into the room, butchered him, butchered his son who was sleeping earlier, and butchered his wife. And then they took some stuff from the house. And do you know, the next day in Uday, a neighboring community to us, that's our world headquarters, Uday, which was like 5 kilometers away from Yerwata, a village woman was going to the farm to fetch firewood, and she saw one of these jihadis, the Fulani, with blood stains on his clothes. So she went back and raised alarm to the village youth that she saw this Fulani guy trying to kickstart a motorbike that stopped. So he was trying to kickstart it, and when she walked past, she saw blood stains all over his body and even on the bike. So that is a ground for suspicion, of course. So immediately our youth ran to the place, met this guy, gave him some little beatings, and they were able to extract confession from him. He confessed that they carried out an attack in Yerwata, that's my own village, which was like 4 kilometers away from the village he was caught. They carried out an attack on Yerwata the previous night. They killed that retired army officer, and this bike was given to him by one of the military guys in Uday. Yeah, a detachment of military. So one of them is his kinsman, is a fellow Fulani, is a Muslim officer. So the youth.
Right. So, you brothers can finish watching this video. I'm going to get into some of these precepts. This is Jeremiah chapter 16, verse. I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, they shall die of grievous deaths. And that's what you see going on. That was a grievous death. The word grievous is something serious or severe. Give me a second. I said grievous describes something causing severe pain, suffering, sorrow, or that is very serious and atrocious, such as a grievous injury or a grievous error. It often refers to deep emotional distress or significant harmful and severe consequences, and that was a severe consequence. Esau used to do that to us when we were in slavery. Common synonyms include heinous, dire, grave, atrocity, severe, and painful. Right, being hacked to death is painful. You know, Jeremiah 16:4, they shall die of grievous deaths, they shall not be lamented, cried for, neither shall they be buried. And this is the judgment that's coming to the U.S. It's gonna be bodies lying all over the streets. That's why I said they won't be buried, and people are not going to cry for you no more. You know how the women like to be all hysterical, even the men being hysterical. It's gonna come to a point in time that people are gonna be numb to it, you know, from seeing it so much, to where, you know, they're not really gonna care no more, man. It says, but they shall be as dung, shit, upon the face of the earth. Just like how people, you know, a dog shit in your yard, or shitting up everywhere, basically. What's gonna happen, man. It's gonna be people just gonna be lying out there like that, man. Upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine. Famine is like food, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven. You're gonna be able to see people getting eaten by birds in the coming days, man. And for the beasts of the earth, and it ain't no coincidence why you starting to see these coyotes and different animals coming into the inner cities. All that is just prophecy starting to work itself out, because a lot of people's getting mauled by these animals, man. You know, and eventually they're gonna be eating the people. You know, that's the scripture, and I think at the top of this verse it says, "I have the Lord ordained four kinds." Um, Let me see. Give me a second. No, I think that's in Jeremiah 15. Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 3. And I will appoint over them four kinds, said the Lord Yahweh, the sword to slay, the dogs to tear right, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Right. This is a curse. A curse that's coming upon this place, that's coming upon the people. You know, not just the Israelites, the blacks, Native Americans, but all the people. You have to be of the elect to escape. But the Lord is having these animals kill these people, and it's going to be 10 times worse, or even worse than that, in the coming days when all hell break loose and the bodies be laying everywhere, man. You know, you're going to be seeing these animals eat people, man. These guys that own these tigers and these lions, these exotic animals, because they got the money, they can afford them. Like NBA YoungBoy, when he had his tiger, I think he had a white Siberian tiger. You know, them pet owners might get mauled by their animals, and them animals roam them streets. A couple years back, you had zoos that were and 9 times out of 10 that was orchestrated, but you had zoo animals escape from the zoo. One zoo, all the animals escaped, but you know, no one was hurt. The lions that was in there escaped. You know, so, but that's what's coming to this place, man. All right, bear with me. Real quick, give me 1 second. This second Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. It says, for there shall be great, for many great misery shall be done to them in the later time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Right, our people walking in pride right now. They doing everything under the sun but worshiping the Lord, and that's the pride. Pride go up before destruction, and the haughty spirit before a fall. That fall and that destruction is your death. Half the time, you know. This is Second Ezra chapter 24. Chapter 15, verse 24. Woe to them that sin. That's for our people, the so-called Israelites, and keep not my commandments, said the Lord, because we are being held accountable. All of Israel is being held accountable, because our Lord is Yahweh Shai, not Baal, not what type of gods they got over there? The Orishas, It says, I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. Right. They can't be let into this truth. That's sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. Right. So that's what's going on. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. That's why they dying like that over there in Nigeria. He said, my people are very poor. They're in poverty. Poverty is a part of the curse from the Lord, man. Yep, that's a curse from Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. Now let me get this. Right here in Nigeria. Just giving you a look. This is Africa, or previously known as the land of Ham in the ancient world. This is what Nigeria is right here on the map. You gotta watch these maps, understand these maps, and these, the biblical maps especially. But you bringing these maps into your videos help you memorize them. Hold on, bear with me. All right, Slakia. This is jihad. He said that this jihad was over there wreaking havoc. So it says jihad is an Arabic term meaning striving or struggling in the way of God, encompassing both personal spiritual efforts to live according to Islamic teachings, greater jihad, and in some contexts armed struggle to defend or expand Islam, lesser jihad. It says it refers to the internal struggle against evil in oneself, as well as efforts to build a good society. Right, so yeah, this is part of the agenda that the elites set up to have the Christians versus Islam. All this hell on earth is going on because of the wrong rulers are in power. But that's soon to change. The things that we're going through and all the hell that's taking place on this earth need to happen in order to bring in the kingdom of heaven. This is prophecy that the Lord laid down. You can't go around it. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Call Allah Yahweh by Shem Shai, by Shem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.